Hi everybody, and welcome back to Weekly Cooking with Becky. Today we are making keto low carb pecan pie bars. So not quite a pie, we're going to turn them into a bar form. All right, so to start us off we need to make the crust, but we are going to what's called a par bake. So we're only going to partially bake the crust. In this contraption, you can use a food processor, you can use a mixer. I used a NutriBullet. Whatever you have, you can use you call it a pastry cutter. You're gonna use 1 1/4 cups of almond flour, 1/4 of a cup granular swerve sweetener or sweetener of choice, 1/4 of a cup of cold chilled butter cut into pieces, and a pinch of salt. And then blend or get cutting. It'll come up into this consistency, and we'll put it into a 9x9 pan. Now, if you have a nonstick pan, do not grease it. This is not a nonstick pan. I just put a very, very thin layer of a cooking spray at the bottom because there's so much butter in here. They say that if you don't have a nonstick pan, you still don't need much. So we're not gonna use much. I'm just taking what I have out of here with my little scraper, making sure I get it all. Also, before I started, I took a cup of pecans. Now, if you buy them lightly roasted, you have nothing to do. If you buy pecans like I did, I bought them on sale, so nothing had been done to them. I measured out a cup, set my oven at 350. I lined a parchment paper, and I put a cup on there, and all I did was place them in the oven for 6 minutes. It says anywhere from 6 to 8. You just want to have them lightly roasted. You don't want them to actually turn dark. And it'll just give up a nice aroma, and it'll give that taste and texture you want when it's time to assemble later. So I just have already done that for later on when we assemble the bars. So right now I'm going to press this down into a cookie pattern, and then we will bake it for about 12 minutes. I'm gonna get something, maybe like a fork, to press those down just a little bit better. I feel like I wanna, yeah, that's better. I can tell it's gonna be a thin crust. This is when I wish I had the capabilities of going in fast forward. I know some of the high-tech people do. So I'll go fast for you. What I will tell you is I will not do the next step until this is out of the oven. You don't even start the next step, which is making the sauce, until these are out, because you want to make it while these are cooling. Move these over a little bit, and I think my cat just entered into the video, or I should say my grandcat. Hi everyone, she's so sorry she jumped on the counter. Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be a thin crust. I can already tell that by looking. I can tell my thick spots. I just want to kind of grab some and like plop it over here. Almost got it. So these are gonna bake for 12 minutes, or, so I'm gonna actually set mine maybe close to 9 and start checking. Once the edges start to turn brown, pull it out. Do not let it fully bake. So as soon as you notice that they're turning brown, you are done for now. So that's how it goes, just like that. And it's in a 325 degree oven. If you want to know what to have when we are on our flip side, we will have a half a cup of butter, 2/3 cup of a powdered swerve or powdered sweetener of choice, 2 teaspoons of Pecan syrup, or if you don't, 2 teaspoons of molasses, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a half a cup of heavy whipping cream, 2 eggs, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a cup of the lightly toasted pecans, and 2 ounces of dark chocolate chips, the sugar-free kind, Bake Believe, Chalk Zero, Lily's, you choose. We will make up the sauce, we'll lay the chips and the pecans, we'll pour it on top, and we'll get baking. So I will see you when this comes out and we'll make the sauce together. Okay, so I just took the par-baked crust out of the oven. I want to show it to you. It's just now golden brown. I'm going to set this off to the side. It's going to cool a little bit, just a little bit. I've also measured out 2 ounces of the dark chocolate. I'm using Lily's chips, and I've already got my cup of pecans cooling from their roasting. So let's get started on our sauce. Let me tell you the ingredients and then we'll start assembling. We're gonna have a half a cup of butter, 2/3 cup of powdered brown sugar. Let me get my whisk out while I'm right here. 2 teaspoons of Pecan. I don't have that, so I'm using molasses. 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. 2 large eggs. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, recommended pink Himalayan. And then we will assemble. So at this time, I want to say, let me just check here that it's over a low heat. Yes. So here I go. We don't want to burn anything. The first thing I'm going to do is, let me make sure I have everything right that I'm telling you guys, is put in my half a stick of butter. Good old butter. If it'll come out of the wrapper, that is. Try. There we go. Toss that to the side. It's gonna start to melt down. So we're gonna put in, melt the butter, and then once it's done, we're gonna stir in the powdered sweetener, the molasses, and whisk until well combined. And then we will remove all of that from the heat. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. When we remove it from the heat, I will pause this portion and then I'll move the camera back over to where you can see me face on and we'll start to incorporate everything else. So this is the only heat part. So melting butter and then stirring in, I want to say it's the 2/3 cup of powdered sugar and 2 teaspoons of Pecan or molasses. Okay, got it. Got it. Nothing like moving cameras around while I do this. It is melting quickly. Turn it up a smidge, but I do want to keep it on low. I don't want to burn anything. And I'll just, oh, I'm not even showing you the pan. How bad of me. There's the pan. So you can see the butter's melting quickly. What I think I will do is just come back when everything's melted, and then I will meet you over there. That just, to me, makes the most sense. I'm gonna melt this, add my powdered swerve, and for me, my molasses. I'll stir it up and I will meet you over at my normal spot, and then we'll whisk in the last of the ingredients and we'll put it together. So I'll see you when we're ready. All right, so I have now melted everything down. I'll let you take a little look. It's nice and golden. Very, very nice and golden. So at this point, we have melted down the butter, powdered swerve, and for me, the molasses, possibly for you guys, the yuck on. Okay, at this time, we are going to whisk in the vanilla extract and the heavy whipping cream. For the vanilla extract, I need 1.5 teaspoons, and it's not going to be an exact measurement because my molasses was just in the teaspoon measure, so I'll be close. It's not exact. Sorry about that. Be close. There we go. Oh, it smells so good. All right, and 1/2 cup, this is only filled halfway, of cream. I'll just go ahead and use that. Help get that out. And we're gonna start whisking that in. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Now, sorry, my cat is on this. Well, my grand cat, anyways. Okay, at this time, we are going to add eggs and the salt and whisk until fluffy and incorporated. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I always eyeball my salt. I don't know about you guys, that's just something I do. And it's 2 eggs. So think about scrambling. So start whisking. This will make it be that kind of custardy topping on the top as it cooks with the eggs getting in there. I want everything fully incorporated, and I will really want to make sure that the eggs are everywhere so it bakes perfectly. Looks good. Can you guys see? Kind of it's still a nice thin. It will thicken upon baking. So at this time, I'm going to move this over. Here is our partially baked crust. Let me move this back a little bit. Okay, 1 cup lightly toasted pecans. Just kind of scatter them around. This is where having a food scale really helps, because I could measure out my 2 ounces of dark chocolate, and I'm just going to get in there and do the same thing. Just make sure everything is everywhere. Looks yummy. That dark chocolate's gonna be a seller for sure. Trying to make sure it's even. And then pour the filling over the top. Try to make sure it's even. A little bit softer at the bottom, that's okay. And then it says to bake 20 to 25 until the filling is mostly set. If you want them gooey, make sure the middle has a little jiggle. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. If it jiggles just a little bit when you shake it, you're good. Then let it cool for 30 minutes before you even think about cutting it into bars. So you gotta be patient. So I'm gonna set it for the lower time 20, And then I'm gonna see if I can jiggle it. And if I can jiggle it, I'm taking it out. And I'm going from there because I like my stuff on the chewy side. And I will see you after it has done its full cooling for 30 minutes, and we'll come back and taste them. See you then. All right, so here are the Keto Pecan Pie bars. They've been out of the oven for 30 minutes. So right now they're still too hot to just eat with your hands. If you let them cool down all the way, you can totally eat them with your hands, but it's too hot and I wanted to do a taste test. So this is what it looks like. They look delicious. I'm gonna make sure that I get some of the pecan as well as some of the chocolate and give a good bite for you. That's really good. So the bottom reminds me of a shortbread. I like the mix of the pecan and the chocolate. So if you like chocolate, you'll love it. If you like pecans, you'll love it. The top reminds me of like a custard. So like think of it as like a custard topping to it. It's great. It says on the recipe when you're reading it, so make sure you click below to get the recipe, that it's best served at room temperature. So if you're gonna eat it in 3 to 4 days, leave it out, but you can put it in the fridge if you want to. Some of the erythritol will crystallize. So what I'm gonna do, because there's only 3 of us in the family and it makes 16, is I'm gonna put enough out for 4 days, and I am gonna refrigerate the others. And then in 4 days, I'll take those out of the fridge and then let those get down to room temperature. Really quickly, I just wanted to let you know that one bar has 222 calories. Total carbs, if you're counting total carbs, 4.92. Protein, 3.65. Fat, 21.12. Fiber, 2.24. Net carbs, 2.68. So I do calorie and net carbs. So 222 calories for my afternoon snack, 2.68 net carbs. So I will have the recipe in the description below. Remember, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Head on over to Facebook and join Living Low Carb with Becky, and feel free to share out my recipe. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.